with 1708, Cody Huff.
Stop number 5 of the Solo Pro Tournament Series on Bull Shoals Lake, presented by Godfather's Pizza. 4 locations: Springfield, Battlefield, Nixa, and Ozark. MS Propane, heating the way with all your propane needs. Sage Electric out of Nixa, Missouri. And Best Automotive. Stay tuned and enjoy the action.
50 gallons of fuel. Had a bee sting me.
Tournament conditions presented by Bass Pro Shops and partnered with Cal Coast Fishing Products. 43 anglers battle lake levels over 20 feet high with water temperatures hovering around the 87-degree mark and hot, humid air temperature in the 88 to 90 degrees.
Go up a creek as far as I can make it.
How far you've run pretty far?
No, I'm going to Big Creek. And I'm just going as far back in the back as I can go.
Do you like lakes like this? Clear, high?
I'm starting to like them more. I used to not really care for really clear lakes like this much, but I'm starting to like them more the more I get to fish them.
What's your strategy on fishing this type of stuff?
I'm going to go up in the creeks and the bushes, and half the fish that I have been catching, I've been seeing before I catch them. So
Like
it's kind of weird.
Fishing?
Yeah, somewhat sight fishing, but they're just cruising. So they weren't worried about the trolling motor when I went up there a couple days ago. So.
Really? Any type of topwater type bite you're on?
No, they've all been on the bottom.
Okay.
All Texas rigs and jigs.
Second place, AOI.
Yeah, I'm gonna fish shallow today. I haven't seen a lot of people doing that, not getting a lot of bites, but I'm hoping it just takes about 12 pounds to get a check, so we'll see how it goes.
How's your practice going?
I fished around here in practice and didn't do any good at all, so
You can
make a run today, see how it goes.
All right, man, we'll see you.
But I caught them pretty good Friday.
I was down here last week and see a lot of
So hopefully if they eat like they did then I'll have a good day.
Topwater stuff?
No, I was dragging the bottom. Different baits.
Well, this is clear. Are you going to fish?
Oh no, I'm a long ways from here.
Oh, did you find dirty water?
No, it's got color to it, but it's not dirty by any means. I think it was probably a couple weeks ago, but
How far are you running? Okay.
like 40 minutes.
Have you been on Bull Shoals before?
Yeah.
Did you like it?
I don't fish. I used to fish it a lot, but I don't fish it that much anymore.
First time ever being down here, so it's a new ball game.
So you and Scott are going to fish together since his first time?
Yeah, I'm gonna follow him. He tell me what to do.
Well, how'd practice go?
It was bad. It was tough on me. Tough, buddy. It was tough.
You going to run pretty far or try to stay close?
Stay close for a second, then make a run and see what happens. Just to see what's gonna happen.
Deep? You going to catch them deep?
Yeah. I hope in between. The in-between spot. Hopefully I can get them now.
Anything you do when you come to something like this, like Clear Lake? Try to drop shot?
I drop shot. Throw the worm, throw the net rig. Man, I throw a little bit of everything trying to find a bite.
Because water's up, it should be up shallow.
Yeah, it should be, but it ain't.
Motor sticks.
Coder sticks.
Put them on your motor.
Yep, works on all mercuries from 150 up, no matter how old they are or how new.
Very nice.
So 2 inches wide, same size as the trim ram. So you're not pushing down on any seals or anything. Drops on there. It's made out of UHMW, so it takes up road shock. Tapered so that it'll fit 86 to 2020. Fits on all the new 4-strokes and all the old stuff. But
very nice.
They just contact you to get them?
Yep, contact me to get them, and we will be in stores soon.
Say,
Mr. Mike Smith.
how are you?
Not much. Well, this is your home stomping ground.
Oh man, I wish we went to Grand. I voted for Grand, if you remember. I hate this lake this time of year. And it's so high and flooded, I can't get on it.
Really?
Not only a few boys that are, but I'm not catching very good.
Well, how are you catching the ones you're catching then? Like, is it deep?
That's it. That's just it. I'm just catching them scattered. Can't catch them consistently on anything. That's my problem. You can catch some deep, a few deep. You can catch very few shallow.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be a... The ones that catch them will catch them good. It'll probably take 16, 17, 18 to win.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
I'm making a run. About an hour.
when's the last time you've been on Bull Shoals?
Never.
This is the first time?
Yeah, I came down Wednesday night. I fished Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Fishing good?
Nope. But yesterday I caught some largemouth. Before that, the only thing I caught was smalls and spotted bass. So you're not gonna win with a bunch of 15-inch spotted bass. So I'm gonna make a run. Hopefully get on a good topwater bite in the morning and then see where it goes from there.
Water clear, dirty?
Gin clear everywhere. People say go up near the dam, it's muddier. You see 10 foot down in the water there, you can see 20 foot down in the water here. So they're both really clear. If you're afraid of clear water, you need to go fish a different lake, because that's all this is clear water.
So do you have to change your game plan from shake your head type thing, drop shot?
Nope, same stuff, just a different place. I don't know why, but there's so much gravel, and it's just real spotted bass type water down here with all the bluffs and everything. I had to get out of that and get into something that's a little bit more largemouthy, you know.
You fish this lake a lot?
I used to, years ago, but not in the last several years. Not like this, anyway. It's hard to tell, what's what.
Yeah.
Just touches. He comes down and fish with me for a couple days. He lives over on Table Rock, and we fished out ledges and all that stuff. We just couldn't get nothing on him, so we come in stuff like this and going right on the bank and, you know, catching some, you know. Doesn't make sense.
They got a lot of hiding places.
Way too many. There's so much stuff in the water, it's hard to, if they don't hit it pretty hard, it's hard to tell. With everything that's under the water here.
Do they do a lot of that whenever you're drop shotting?
What's that?
They'll come up and thump it.
You know, you feel them just, I mean, they'll bump it and then off they go. I mean, I can see them come to it, so you know they're interested, but they just won't.
Oh, that might be a good one. Oh, damn it. He's on there. Thought it was better than that. Now he really hit it.
Keep, but he's mean. Where the red is right now.
Yeah, there's parts of it that I feel like could come up.
Everything's got to be 15, right?
Yeah, 15 around the book.
Bull Shoals weigh-in presented by Crank Wraps, Cal Coast Fishing, Tag, Motion Fishing Company, and Ozark Mountain Popcorn.
I broke an ear on my prop.
Oh, was you the one that came and gave you a prop?
Yeah, they came and gave me a prop.
What'd you catch them on?
Crankbait, swim bait, chatterbait, A little bit of everything.
Stay pretty close, or is there a certain area of the lake?
Oh, I was all the way at the other end. I was 4 miles from Taneycomo. So, yeah.
Too bad you just couldn't have locked in Taneycomo, huh?
Exactly. They're all schooling fish.
Now, was you graphing them?
Yeah, I was sitting in 46 feet of water.
And you throw that crankbait in 46 feet of water?
Yeah, throwing that up to about 20 something.
Have a bush and there'd be 2 or 3 wood, all the same size. Whenever you catch one, whatever was running around there with it be the same.
Are you flipping bushes, or?
Yeah, a jig and a tube and a beaver just alternating.
Was there anything particular you were focused on? Main lake, wind?
I was going back in creeks. And the wind didn't seem to matter. You just had to, there's so much cover in the water, so many places for them to be. You just got to cover a lot of territory.
You go back in the thick of stuff, and
yeah,
you made it pretty far. How far around did you go?
I run probably about 35 minutes, and then just started running back to creeks and that area.
And about as far as you could run, every creek I could find, and caught them as shallow as you could get to them.
Well, you flipping bushes?
Flipping laydowns, bushes, whatever I could find up there.
So you were back in the mix of all the stuff?
Oh yeah. Caught one first thing this morning on topwater off a bridge at the back of one of them creeks.
Do you move around a lot today, or did you just stay one?
I burned 50 gallons of fuel. If that tells you much.
You figured this out in practice, or did you just?
We didn't practice.
Oh yes,
we just came down here this morning.
Any particular color, anything you were flipping that made a difference color-wise? Didn't seem to matter.
I was flipping a green pumpkin D-bomb with chartreuse tails. And it seemed like the later it got, the more they wanted it moving. And the biggest one I caught, I actually flipped it in a tree and had a bee sting me. I reached down and slapped him, and I picked my rod up, and it goes, whoop. She come out of about a 8-foot deep tree out of the channel.
The secret today?
Flipping isolated tree rows.
Now, do you find them in practice? Do you just go down a bank, you just run down a bank and go, oh, there's isolated one?
Yeah, kinda. It's really just about kind of trial and error. You know, kick the trolling motor on high and cover a bunch of water until you start getting some bites, and then you can slow down and start to pick it apart a little bit. And, you know, that'll kind of clue you in on color and, you know, certain type of piece of cover or something like that.
Those certain trees that you were targeting?
Yeah, it was really the trees that had all the thick stuff on them, really. Yeah, I had to have a bunch of shade. Seemed to be the ticket for me anyways.
Deep, or?
No, everything I caught was less than 10 foot, so up pretty shallow.
Did you run a lot?
Yes, I did. I ran more than I should have today, trying to go to some areas where I'd caught some fish, but really probably should have just buckled down in one area. That's ended up where I ended up catching my fish. It was really in one area. So.
3. Lucky to have them.
Well, how'd you catch 3?
I caught one on a chatterbait, one on a football jig, and one on a 10-inch worm.
So you're just throwing the kitchen sink at them, huh?
And they are babies. Rails, skin flints, however you want to call them.
Do you have an opportunity for any others, or?
Yeah, I broke one off and I got me down in some brushes. So dang flooded, you know. There's so much stuff for them to get around. But he was just probably 2.5 pounds. He wasn't a big one. Then I had one that just would not touch. And I've got one that just does. And there's the first fish I caught this morning. I thought it was going to be a better day. I caught it on the channel.
Well, Mike, you can't win them all.
Well, the old man always wants to.
My name's Cody Huff. I got first today. I had a really good day, just kind of blessed. I finally ran into a couple of groups of fish that wanted to bite. This place is kind of weird right now where the water's so high here. So the current makes a big difference right now. The water, it's so hot out here. And just ended up getting real lucky and had a couple of groups of fish that ended up staying put, and just kind of rotated through the same couple of groups and ended up catching 5 nice ones. I never did have a big one today. My biggest fish was like a 390, so I just had twins.
So what do you do to focus on this type of high water? It can get you a little bit scattered.
Yeah, it can. It's there's lots of different ways to approach it. You know, there's a lot of guys that done really well fishing shallow this week. You know, fishing isolated cover, and I fish deep down around the Lead Hill area. That's kind of how I like to fish. I'd weigh other fish for a group as I would, you know, have to catch them one at a time.
Any particular lures and stuff that worked for you this tournament?
Not really. I caught most of my fish on a Magnum shaky head and a 3/4 ounce football jig.
Just in the bushes, a little bit farther deep?
Yeah, on like little hard spots and stuff like that.
Do you graph a lot of these fish?
Oh yeah. I spend a lot of time just idling.
Okay. Well, what are you gonna do with your money?
Well, I guess go find something to eat and find some AC.
My name's Connor Cunningham. I got second today at Bull Shoals. I spent all day fishing shallow, flipping a big jig and throwing a topwater as well. I spent some time practicing. That is one thing I want to say about this year. Try a different deal as far as this year goes. Practicing as hard as I can, spend a lot of time before these tournaments come up, and just leaving the rest up to the big man upstairs. It seems to be working pretty good. So as far as location today, I ran probably 40 miles up the White River to try to get away from pressure and fish areas where I could get to the bank. It didn't matter if there were trees on the bank, if it was a hayfield, whatever the case may be. Just anywhere you get to the bank for the way I like to fish. And that seemed to be the key for my success today.
You fish in dirty water? Did you try to find dirty water? Seems like that was a little bit of today's winning strategy.
Yep, so the key to my area, I believe, is where that water is mixing. So if you were a couple miles down the lake, it was pretty clear, and it was really hard to get bit there. And then practicing yesterday, I went probably 5 miles up, and it started mixing, getting a little dirtier, and that's where I found them at, and it was pretty good. I think I caught probably 25 keepers a day. It was actually a nightmare to cull through them all because they're all the same size, but other than that, super fun day. Probably one of the most fun tournament days I've ever had fishing, so fun day.
I mean, this kind of played out just like Table Rock. High water,
yep.
Trees in the water. I mean, we saw your last video, your
yep.
tree. Was that very similar what you did today?
It was pretty similar, so I guess the key would be looking for the kind of tree that they might be on. Helped out a lot, but the difference between here and Table Rock, these fish here were in like 3 foot, where at Table Rock they were 15 or so. I couldn't catch anything deeper than that. I'm not a very good deep fisherman, so I always try to concentrate on shallow areas and catch them that way.
Third place, Bull Shoals Lake Fish Stop with a solo pro. Spent the day flipping. Started out with a little topwater this morning. It wasn't happening. The water dropped a little bit, so I picked up a flipping rod, put everything else up, and went to flipping. Went through about 21 or 22 keepers. A lot of them were just little squeakers, so just cold up slowly throughout the day.
Did you lose any today that would have bumped you up a little more?
No, I didn't lose a fish today. Most of them were 5-foot pitches, and they grab on and just flip them in the boat.
This high water, Bull Shoals real, 27 feet high.
Yeah.
How do you even comprehend what's going on, or what do you do to go out there to try to even catch them? To start.
I don't come to Bull Shoals very often, so I'm not real familiar with it, but I wasn't going to fish clear water. So I just ran up towards Taneycomo up there and just buckled down in a creek and fished for resident fish, what I thought, fish that are always living there. And they had moved a little bit from practice, but just not very far, just 8-9 foot trees, bushes.